Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. This is Let's Talk Keto with Annie. I'm Annie Lewis. I've been on my keto journey for about 6 months, and I love sharing information about the ketogenic diet. I am not a doctor. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I can just tell you what has personally worked for me. Today is going to kind of be like the 1B video because the other one, it was kind of more of an introduction video. This one is going to be all about the resources, where you can go to get the information. I will be putting out videos about little tidbits and this and that, and this will help you. And this is the basics of how you follow it. But I think that people should get out there and try to do some of their own research. Even if you can only listen to a podcast going, to and from work, or while you're, deciding to go work out, if you want to listen to a YouTuber that, is talking ketogenic, or you want to listen to me while you're working out, but, so that you can get information and do some of your own research. As I did a ton of research before I started on this way of life, and I still do research today. I'm still continuously reading books. I'm continuously listening to podcasts, and I go to TED Talks, and I listen to TED Talks, and I go and look and see if there's, any new published papers from peer-reviewed sources. And so I'm a big fan of all the science, and I understand everybody is busy and and can only work so much things in their spare time. And so you don't have to be a researcher to get this information. But so today, that's what I'm going to talk about. The one thing that I would say, so if you're out and about, or if you're, on the World Wide Web, I guess, and you're listening to different YouTubers and going to different blogs and stuff, the ketogenic diet is not about taking certain supplements. It's not about taking certain drinks, or it's not about drinking MCT oil. It's not about that. That's not how you get into ketosis. How you get into ketosis is to not eat carbs. It's to restrict your carb, and then your body does it. Your body puts you into ketosis because of what you don't feed it, not what you do feed it. So if you want to be in ketosis, we talked about this. Go ahead, limit those carbs to 20 grams or less. And that is the surefire way of getting into ketosis, is to limit those carbs. Once you've done it, and once you kind of know your body, then you can play with that 20 grams of total carbs. And you can play with it going up or down. Depending on your body. You just need to see how your body reacts. That's like the biggest thing. This way of eating is really, really tailored to each individual. And each individual has their own tolerance for insulin and the glucose that gets into your system and things like that. So you really need to, mess around with those numbers. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to tell you some resources, because there's like a ton of resources. I'm a huge Dr. Westman fan. He's a doctor at the Heal Clinics, and I'm just one of his biggest fans. I think he is super smart. He has several books that he's written some with Jimmy Moore. The one that I'm going to tell you about is called, and I made myself a cheat note so I can get it right. It's called A Low Carbohydrate Ketogenic Diet Manual by Dr. Eric Westman. And you can get it, like the Kindle version, you can get it for $5. And it really goes through this whole way of eating. There's also out there what they call Dr. Westman's page 4. You can go out there and go to Pinterest and put that into Pinterest. You really literally just have to put in page 4, and it'll pop up all of these page 4s, and that really goes through some of the things that I was telling you in just more details about what meats, fatty meats that you can eat, what kind of green leafy vegetables and cabbage and broccoli and all those that you can have, and it goes over some of the oils, and so it gives you a detailed list of the best things to have in there. So that was a great resource. I don't know if I said it in the last video, but The Art and Science of a Low Carb Living, and that one is by Dr. Volek and Dr. Finney. They are pioneers in this field. They're brilliant. They're brilliant. And they if you YouTube Dr. Westman, Dr. Finney, Dr. Volek, if you do a web search of them or a YouTube search of them, they have their own videos at different conferences and stuff like that, and you can totally watch them. They're free, and they will give you the breakdown, and they have really, really great information. Some of the other books that I liked, there's like Jimmy Moore and Dr. Westman wrote Keto Clarity and Cholesterol Clarity, and I think those are really great books, especially the Cholesterol Clarity, because a lot of times when you start this way of eating, your cholesterol goes up for the beginning, for the first 6 months, and then it drops back down, and people start freaking out about that. And Cholesterol Clarity really gives you more of an insight as to how important are those numbers, and which numbers is the numbers that are really important. And as a reasonable, intelligent person, you have to do your own research, and you have to take everything that anybody says, even myself, with a grain of salt, and really go into it and see, does that make sense to me? Does that not make sense to me? Who's to profit from telling us this, that, or that? Is there lobbyists that, are profiting from this? Who is making the money? I mean, generally you follow the money trail, and you'll follow, unfortunately, a lot of the information that has been given to us incorrectly. But there is Gary Taubes, Taubes. He has wrote numerous books, and all of his books I love. And he's wrote like Good Calorie, Bad Calorie. He's written a couple other ones, and I really like his books. They're very interesting. They're very easy to read. They're very easy to understand. Also, one of my favorite one is Dr. Jason Fung, and he is all about fasting. And I actually do like to fast. I'm actually fasting today. So he has wrote The Complete Guide to Fasting. He's also wrote The Obesity Code, and both of those are really great books to read and get more information. Not everybody has to fast. If you don't want to fast, you don't have to fast. There is some amazing things that happen when you fast, and some amazing benefits from fasting. I do have to say that when you are in a ketogenic state and you're burning fat for your fuel, it is much, much easier to fast than if you're coming off of like a carbohydrate rich diet, because your body has to go out through what I like to call the freak out moment, when it tells you to eat and you don't really need to. So those are the resources that I have used. Go out there. Some of good websites, I almost forgot. Diet Doctor. Love Diet Doctor. He has a ton of information on his site for free that you can access. You also can become a member on his site, and then you can access more videos and things like that on his website, and there's tons of information. Go Keto with Casey has a blog. I follow her. She is my keto guru that I like to follow. So there's just tons of people out there. Just, go look. You can find them. Come back and tune in with me. I'll keep giving out my tidbits, and keto on. Have a great day. Bye.